Now at 5, we'll hear from the organizers of the final Joplin Memorial Run as they prepare for tomorrow's event. Plus, Fort Scott Community College has a new recording studio for students to use. And
President Biden commemorates the 70th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education here behind me at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. I'm Willie James Inman in Washington with details.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Preparations are underway for the final Joplin Memorial Run. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. Roughly 2,300 runners are signed up to participate in one of tomorrow's races. The Memorial Run honors the victims of the 2011 Joplin tornado. Over the past 10 years, the run has raised more than $300,000 for charity. More than 600 volunteers will help make the event happen. Both runners and organizers hope to make the final race meaningful.
So it's bittersweet. We're really excited to have the final event, make it big, make it awesome. Remember the 161, which will continue even after this event is over. That will never stop. But we're excited to host one final event.
Tomorrow's event will end with the 161 race banners representing the victims of the Joplin tornado given to the families following all races. The 4-State Farm Show kicked off in Pittsburgh today. Around 700 vendors set up displays this year. Most are inside Pitt State's Robert W. Plaster Center, with some outside nearby. Now, officials say the show offers people the chance to check out the latest technology in farm machinery and construction equipment, as well as some jewelry, art, and hunting supplies.
In addition to the quality equipment with Vermeer, Manitou, and Air-Equip that we had last year, we've added a line of the Deutz Far tractors to our product, to our sales product, and we have some of those here at the show this year.
A lot of really cool stuff. Farm Show will run through Sunday. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us.
Well, definitely turned out to be a nice Friday for us today. Temperatures pretty good. Most of us upper 70s to near 80 degrees. 80 in Nevada. It's 79 in Pittsburgh, 80 in Oswego. Anderson is sitting at 81 degrees. We do have some cumulus clouds and a couple little spotty showers, but I think most of us are going to stay dry, and the better chances for any scattered showers or thunderstorms will stay in our far southern counties. So as we go through the evening, we'll slide back through the 70s, 60s, and then we'll drop back right around 60 later on tonight. Warming up even more over the weekend. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. The music department at Fort Scott Community College is making an addition to pull interest from prospective music students. Starting in the fall, the department will have a music studio capable of recording 16 tracks at a time. An unused computer lab located inside Ellis Hall will be the location of the new studio. According to music professor Chris Goddard, this will give students a chance to expand their knowledge about the music industry beyond what they are already learning.
The more that I can connect with them about what it is that they like about music, the better. So for me to be able to step into a space where students really want to create something and manipulate the technical aspects of music, that's something that I don't get to teach on a day-to-day basis.
Goddard says they already have the base budget for the studio. However, they are seeking community support and asking for equipment donations for the new studio. President Biden used the anniversary of a landmark Supreme Court ruling to tout the work America has done to ensure that all people, regardless of race, are treated equally. But the movement to integrate schools is losing steam in many areas of the country. Willie James Inman has more details from Washington, D.C.
President Biden arrived at the National Museum of African American History and Culture to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the landmark Supreme Court ruling ending school segregation.
When the Supreme Court ruled in Brown versus Board of Education that racial segregation in public schools is unconstitutional, a prayer was answered in a long struggle for freedom.
Thursday, the president met with some of the plaintiffs in the case and their families at the White House. They praised the Supreme Court ruling, saying it impacted the lives of every American. But they acknowledged the fight to end separate but equal is not over.
We know we have a lot of work to do in that education is still challenging in some places, but we have to realize that education is foundational to our country.
In the last decade, the number of suburban school districts with 90 to 100% of non-white students has doubled in the nation's 25 largest metropolitan areas. These so-called resegregated schools face limited resources and more teacher shortages than predominantly white schools. Those districts represent 30% of the nation's entire public school enrollment. President Biden is spending more time talking about issues important to African Americans as he looks to shore up support with black voters ahead of the presidential election.
Today, the resistance comes in other insidious forms. An extreme movement led by my predecessor and his MAGA Republican allies, backed by an extreme Supreme Court, gutted affirmative action in college admissions.
This weekend, the president will deliver the commencement address at Morehouse College, a historically black college in the battleground state of Georgia. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
A CBS News poll from early March showed black voters' support for President Biden has dropped from the 87% who said they voted for him in 2020 to 76% who say they'll vote for him in 2024. Well, things got heated on Capitol Hill last night in a House Oversight Committee meeting. The lawmakers were gathered to decide whether to recommend holding Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt when the personal insults started flying at the center. Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene and her response to a question from Democrat Jasmine Crockett. Still ahead, the dangers of a product marketed to kids.
Water beads can swell in size more than 100 times when exposed to liquid, but they can also be a danger to children. I'm Bradley Blackburn with how one family's tragic loss could change the law to help others.
And next in Health Watch, a new gene therapy gives one toddler her hearing back in a groundbreaking trial. Topping today's Health Watch, scientists say they've made progress towards creating a vaccine for HIV using a technique called germline targeting. They've helped induce cells in the bodies of monkeys and mice to help create HIV antibodies. The study's authors say more studies need to be done, but the results are promising. A British toddler has had her hearing restored after becoming the first person in the world to take part in a pioneering gene therapy trial sponsored by an American company. Lee Kinnery has the story from London.
For Opal Sandy, an 18-month-old girl in England, life just got a lot louder. Yeah! Opal was born with a rare genetic condition that made her completely deaf. But her parents, Joe and James Sandy, were invited to take part in a global gene therapy trial.
To potentially make obstacles easier for her to overcome was a risk definitely worth taking.
Opal received an infusion in one ear containing a working copy of the faulty DNA Opal was born with. Just 4 weeks after the procedure, her parents saw this.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
I'm not sure I believed it at the start. I think I said it was just a fluke.
But a fluke it was not. 6 months later, doctors confirmed Opal had near normal hearing. Professor Manohar Bance is Opal's surgeon. What was your reaction when you heard that it worked?
I really was a bit flabbergasted because we all expected in theory it to work, but to see it in practice, to see the actual audiogram and see it responding, it was a bit unreal. And very joyful.
The trial is sponsored by American biotech company Regeneron and is recruiting more young patients in the U.S.
Hiya, Ladybird.
Opal Sandy may not know she's become part of a major medical breakthrough, but now knows the sound of her mother's voice.
Mummy kiss?
Lee Canary, CBS News, London.
Other similar trials looking into gene therapies as a way to restore hearing in children with deafness are taking place around the world, including in America. The doctors said the earlier deafness in a child is detected, the higher likelihood they could benefit from a treatment like this. Well, men are at a greater risk than women for serious complications from diabetes. A study published in the British Medical Journal found while men and women have similar rates of diabetes, Men have higher risk for cardiovascular disease, leg, foot, and kidney complications, and retinopathy. The study authors say men tend to be less likely to make lifestyle changes or get health checks. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, how you can get different health screenings for free this weekend while buying groceries.
Plus, our temperatures warming up as we go into the weekend. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Friday for us today. Partly sunny skies, temperatures nice. Most of us right around 80 during the afternoon, and you can see partly cloudy outside for us right now. There could be a stray shower, but most of us are looking pretty good as we go into the evening hours. All right, temps right now sitting at 78 Monette, 81 in Anderson, 80 in Nevada, 79 in Chautauqua, and then 81 in Miami. So temperatures looking pretty good, and look how they're warming up out to the west. Those warmer temperatures are going to be pressing in as we go into the next couple days. We're going to slide back through the 80s, 70s, 60s as we go through the evening hours. Pretty much clear skies, and we've had the little puffy cumulus clouds that have popped up and a couple little showers in our southern counties, but most of us are going to stay dry. Let's go ahead and zoom in on these. You can see western parts of Benton County, one little shower, eastern parts of Ottawa County, and then one little shower near Webb City. But again, most of us will end up staying dry. You can see the little twist in the clouds, a weak little wave that is passing right off to the south. All right, let's go through time. Any showers out there will be gone over the next couple hours. By morning, looking pretty good, upper 50s to near 60 degrees. As we go through the morning hours, already upper 70s by the noon hour, and then most of us will warm to about 84, upwards to 85 during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, some thunderstorms shoot just to our north and to our west. We will stay dry, mid 60s, and then as we go into Sunday, even warmer. Look at this, upper 80s during the afternoon. Then we'll start to see some changes pressing in, some thunderstorms here Sunday night, and if these storms can get in, they'll be strong to possibly severe. They start pressing in as we go through the overnight hours on Sunday night into Monday morning, and then we'll kind of fall apart. So we are going to have chances for thunderstorms Sunday night, and then mainly on Monday morning. But the weekend looks good. 84 tomorrow, 87 on Sunday, mostly sunny skies. Get outside, enjoy it, almost hot across the region. As we get into early next week, of course, we have the thunderstorms Monday morning, and then as we go into Monday afternoon, we could get a stray thunderstorm, but mainly staying to our north. Better chances, though, for thunderstorms late Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening, and those most likely will be strong to severe. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. All right, 84 for us tomorrow, 87 on Sunday, upper 80s Monday and Tuesday with those scattered thunderstorms, 80 on Wednesday. A little bit cooler Thursday and Friday, and then thunderstorms again moving in for Memorial Weekend.
All right, well, a lot of chances for some moisture out there, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Enjoy your sunny weekend.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, another round of severe weather has left at least 4 people dead in Texas. Powerful wind and rain slammed the southeastern part of the state for the second time this month, prompting hundreds of thousands to shelter in place. The city of Houston is especially hard hit. More than 800,000 homes and businesses are without power. Multiple school districts have also canceled classes. Coming up, consumer advocates call for changes to a popular kids' toy with a dangerous problem. Topping today's Consumer Watch, about 1 in 7 Generation Z credit card borrowers have maxed out their credit limit. That's from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which also says credit card delinquencies have surpassed pre-pandemic levels and continue to rise. The Fed says part of the reason Gen Z borrowers are maxed out is because they have much lower credit limits. Many younger Americans haven't had the time to build credit histories and credit scores that would let them borrow more. Free health screenings will be available at Walmart pharmacies across the country tomorrow. It's all part of Walmart Wellness Day. You can get free health screenings for glucose, cholesterol, BMI, and blood pressure. Select stores will also offer vision screenings. The event runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow at all Walmart pharmacies. Water beads in eye-popping colors were marketed as children's toys for years, but they can pose a real danger if they're ingested. The story of one family's heartbreaking loss is now driving a possible legislative change. Bradley Blackburn explains.
They are super absorbent polymer pieces that can swell in size 100 times when exposed to water. But Taylor Beathard never imagined water beads could have such tragic power.
No family should have to experience what we have experienced because of a toy.
Last year, the Wisconsin mother of 5 found her 10-month-old daughter unresponsive in her crib and called 911, but it was too late. An autopsy found Esther died of an intestinal blockage, a single water bead inside the infant's body. Her family now changed forever.
My 6.5-year-old son, Esther was his best friend. And while I lost my daughter, he lost his best friend at 6 years old.
They don't know how or when Esther ingested the bead. The products have been common toys for years, often part of sensory kits or craft sets. But new bipartisan legislation called Esther's Law would ban the sale of water beads for children.
I am hopeful in Esther's memory that this can be passed.
Last December, major retailers including Amazon, Walmart, and Target announced they'll no longer sell water beads for children, but millions and millions of beads are already in homes.
There are literally tens of thousands of water beads in an individual product, and they can end up everywhere. You may think you have picked up every last water bead, and you haven't.
Even with this law, even if they go off the market, the risk is still there.
It's still there until they're gone.
A family's deep loss and fight to protect others. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
While the bill would prohibit the sale of water beads to children, they could remain on the market as decor for adults. The bill would direct the CPSC to regulate colors to limit their appeal to children and apply clear warning labels. Well, dating in the post-pandemic world is tough, regardless of gender. And that's according to dating app Tinder, which just unveiled an international study on current dating app behaviors. The study also shows 68% of women say they want a romantic relationship, with 53% of men agreeing. A clear majority of both males and females say they want equal partnership. Well, final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, Steve Hartman takes us on the road for a lesson on reciprocity. And then on KOAM News at 6, we'll have more on the preparations for Joplin's final memorial run. Plus, the Crawford County Commission this morning discussed the future of wind and solar power in the county. And Missouri Southern Baseball takes on the University of Arkansas at Monticello in the second game of the Division II Regional Tournament. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. All right, final check of the forecast.
Yeah, it looks pretty good actually as we go through the evening hours. Temperatures are going to be dropping back through the 70s into the 60s, but warming up over the weekend. Look at this, 84 tomorrow, 87 on Sunday. Thunderstorms Sunday night into Monday morning, could be strong to severe, and then a severe threat again Tuesday afternoon.
Hope everyone has their ACs going. Gonna need it. All right, well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6, and we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.